back at it again. Labor Day weekend. Most people are off camping and partying. Here I am working on the Jeep. Obviously Labor Day weekend, so I'm not getting any parts till Tuesday at the earliest. The camshaft and the rest of the engine parts will be coming in Tuesday or Wednesday, hopefully. So that leaves me with a lot of things in pieces and no engine to finish. So what I've been doing here is power washing and cleaning up a lot of the engine accessories for painting. We've got the cast iron intake, cast iron exhaust here, which is in pretty rough shape. Spent quite a bit of time on it with a wire wheel on the drill and then a bit heavier one on the grinder trying to get it, and that's cast iron, that's what it does. After 37 years, the fact that it's not cracked or completely rotted away is a miracle. So I'll probably put it on for now and maybe look at getting a header in the future, but for now we're going to go with the cast iron exhaust manifold. Painting these things seldom ever works out for me. I've tried multiple different brands of paint, and it's the heat and the fact that they're old and rusty to begin with. So we're going to try some POR 15 on it. I know it's not really a high heat paint, but it is a paint over rust option. So if nothing else, it'll give me a good base. And like I said, I'm looking forward to replacing this somewhere down the line. Probably not till after the winter, to be honest, because it's coming quick and I got lots of things to get done. The intake cleaned up pretty well. There's a little bit of blue paint on it from, I think my father painted it, or maybe the previous owner, I'm not sure. That I wire brushed the hell out of it and it wouldn't come off, and it's in some tight spots. So it's aluminum. It looks pretty good aluminum. I don't really like painting aluminum. If it's aluminum, clean it up and put it on and it looks good. You can get products that prevent the oxidization. So you know that white powder that tends to get on aluminum after a while. So maybe I'll paint it, maybe I won't, but I did want to get it as clean as I could. I used a couple different degreasers. I used a gunk degreaser, and then I used POR degreaser, and it came out pretty good. And like I said, a little bit of light wire wheeling helped. A couple other things I'm going to do today. I'm going to take off the shock towers. I already got the shock off it. And I'm going to take off my motor mounts. I decided I'm going with a throttle down customs frame. I don't know if I mentioned that. So that'll be coming. So I'm pretty sure the motor mounts and the shock mounts aren't on it. So I'm going to take these off, start cleaning them up. POR 15 the heck out of them. And I do have a problem with the rims. I don't know how well you can see that, but they're pretty rusty. And I'm not a fan of chrome rims on an off-road vehicle. It just looks silly to me. They're easier to clean, but they don't ever stay clean. And these are pretty badly rusted and pitted. Like I said, this spent a lot of time outside. I wire wheeled it, and there's just no way. And that's pretty much what we got on the go for today. So right on cue, bloody motor mounts and shock towers are all metric bolts. Engine's imperial, frame stuff metric. Okay, I hope you can see that. There's the shock mount coming off. These bolts, they go right through the frame and the nuts are on the inside. There's 37 years worth of crud in the bottom of this frame, just eating away on that bottom bolt. It's in better shape than I thought. I thought for sure that was going to break. You can see it's all thinned out there. No cleaning up and putting that one back. So there's a problem. One of the design flaws of this era of Jeep. The bottom of the shock towers are closed, but the tops are wide open. So water, rain, mud, snow, salt, That all is just crap in there. You can power wash that a million times and you're not getting that out of there. Not while it's on the vehicle, at least. So what I'm going to do before I put them on is I'm going to drill a couple of small relief holes right here before the top of that nut. Maybe I'll just cut them out with a plasma cutter, just so the water can drain out. It's not going to weaken the bracket at all, but get some of the water out of there. There's aftermarket companies that make a square closed tube one. Instead of this open U shape, they make a square steel tube. The motor mount bolt's actually in pretty good shape. I mean, they look new inside. I had one that was a little bit rusty, but that'll wire wheel off. And they're fine threads, so they're different than the other bolts. So if you look at your motor mount bolts, you got 3 that are the same length, and then you got 1 long one. That 1 long one is for a cross member bracket that I'm assuming Dad cut off, because that's the kind of thing he would have done. It just adds some rigidity to the front of the frame because there's no cross members up in this area other than this. But the problem is, if you ever want to get your oil pan off without taking the motor off, which you can do on this thing's in the way. I don't know why you didn't just take the 2 bowls and take it off, but I guess cutting it was easier. And of course, the driver's side motor mounts here. I got the bottom 2 nuts off. But the top 2 are giving me some grief. They rounded off. And they were rounded off. Not much left of those. I'm going to try to knock a 13 on it instead of the 14, which just spins. Reason why these are bad and the other sides are good. If you look at the frame rails on this side, it's reasonably dry. The other side's got the power steering on it. And almost all these power steering lines at some point start leaking. So you got dry, rusty stuff on the passenger side of the frame, and soaking wet, well lubricated on the driver's side, just because of the power steering. Situations like this, a little heat goes a long way. That one's nothing. Cross our fingers. Started to work. Woo! I was getting worried I might have to grind out some more bolts, but I got her. I'll have to knock that out later. Heat is the key. Yeah, big difference on those bolts. Driver side to passenger side, all because of the power steering leaks over the years. Helps to lubricate that side. Maybe all new cars should come with that. Day yesterday. I didn't get any video of it because it was just me slogging away, pulling crap off the old frame. I got the axles off and all the mounts and shock towers and things that I was going to need for the new frame. There's what's left of old Rusty. Alright, pretty bare bones now. Okay, you can see some spots there came right down to bare metal, pretty nice. And then there's some deeper spots that just weren't being cooperative, and I didn't want to go too crazy. Just enough that I can get POR to stick to it. Backing plates were really rough. I forgot I got to pull them wheel cylinders off yet. But I'm happy with the turnout. I mean, there's some deep rust on these, and you're never going to get it all off. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the results here. A lot of this metal was really deeply pitted, particularly in the shock towers. All right, I went at them with a hammer and chisel first to loosen up a lot, but that's 37 years with the trapped water and sand and mud. You can see there at the bottom I drilled 2 relief holes on each one. That should have helped water draining out. I don't know why the engineers couldn't have thought of something like that. Yeah, everything turned out pretty good. I mean, those motor mounts were really rough. Certainly a lot better than what they were. And they'll take the paint quite nicely. Sway bar links all cleaned up. Got the bushings out of those. That was a bit of a pain. So I'm gonna blow all this off, prime it up, and then put some POR 15 on it all. Alright, all parts are thoroughly power washed. They've been degreased with POR degreaser. Now they're all coated with POR metal prep, and they were just power washed off. You can see there's kind of a powdery white residue on them. Okay, that's zinc phosphate, I believe it was. Alright, turned out pretty good. There's what I'm putting on. English side out. Okay, POR, paint over rust paint. Gloss black. It's the only stuff I could get at the local store. But this is almost like a base coat. If you have something exposed to UV, so direct light, you're supposed to put a POR top coat on it. This is all suspension stuff. It really doesn't see the light of day. So I'm just going to give it the 2 coats of this and see how it turns out. I also got the axles ready to go. Obviously they didn't turn out quite as nice, but not too bad, all things said and done. It's an axle. I'm not building a show car here. I just want it cleaned up. Back axle come out pretty good. You can see that zinc phosphate coating's pretty more substantial on there. Alright, POR all done. I got 2 coats on. I need a third, but there's a thunderstorm about to blow in and I'm outside. So, looks a hell of a lot better than rusty chrome. I tried to clean them up and there was just no way. 2 coats of POR on the axles. New rotors to go on still, so I didn't bother to do anything with the rotors. And there's all my shock mounts and shock towers and engine mounts, pulleys, You name it, it's there. I wanted to do POR on the oil pan. It's got quite a bit of pits from being over the years, and paint never really lasts long on them, so a little extra protection.